Morning. Someone has just joined the meeting with the name Kindra, Kindra. Can you please unmute and tell me your full name and the entity you're here on behalf of?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Kendra Zaptel, and I'm with Premier RV Trailer Sales.
Can you say that one more time? Premier.
Premier RV and Trailer Sales.
Okay. And what was your last name? Kindra.
Zaptel, Zaputil.
Sorry, that was on my end. My volume was a little quiet. Can you spell it one more time? Zaputil.
That is correct.
Okay, perfect. Give me just a second. I'm going to rename you, just so we all know that's who you're here for. And do you have any documents you would like to submit today? It's okay if you don't. I just need to walk you through how to get those to us. So if you have any, let me know.
Okay, I have only a screenshot. I'm told by our insurance company they can't provide that to me. They submit it directly to Puck through a portal.
Okay, so do you want to have the screenshot? Like, do you want to try and submit it to the record? I mean, obviously throughout the hearing, you'll hear what the requirements are. I kind of can't get into that with you. I just need to know if you want to submit that screenshot or not.
Please.
Okay. I need you to give me your email address then.
It is careers with an S on the end
CAREERS
at Premier
PREMIER
Auto
Colorado. Is that what you said?
Auto AUTO
Auto.
and AND
Mm-hmm.
RV.com.
Careers at Premier Auto and spelled out RV.com.
Correct.
Okay. Give me a few minutes. You should be on the lookout for two emails. One is an email from me. My name is Casey Federico, and it will have instructions. The second email will be from box.com. If you don't get the box.com email right away, check your spam.
Miss Federico, and just very quickly, I know that the hearing hasn't started yet. We're not on record, but I just wanted to note that my understanding is that Premier RV and Trailer Sales insurance has been updated, and that Miss Riley will likely be testifying that carrier be dismissed from this proceeding. So if we want to hold off on that, it may not be necessary to have
Perfect.
Documents submitted.
Perfect. I'll wait then. I'll have the emails ready just in case, but I'll wait until we hear what the testimony says. Thank you for letting me know, Mr. Larson.
Yes, no problem.
Someone who's joined the Zoom, just three initials, TTT. Can you please unmute and tell me your first and last name and the entity you are here on behalf of?
Hello. We just opened the camera. Do you see us?
I can see you. I just need to know your first and last name and the entity you're here on behalf of.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Entity. Okay. If you can tell me where I can find that in the letter, would you please?
How about this? Tell me your name first.
Okay, well, that's under my husband's Eagle Eye Towing.
Eagle Eye Towing, is that what you said?
Yes, Eagle Eye Towing.
Okay, give me just a second. And what's your name?
Humberto Aragones.
Okay. And the company's Eagle Eye Towing, you said?
Yes.
Okay, give me just a couple minutes, please.
Thank you.
Miss Federico, this is Justin Larson again. Just a
Yes.
quick another clarification. This, I believe, Eagle Eye Towing was one of the carriers from the last insurance show cause proceeding a couple weeks ago that was continued to
Okay.
today.
Okay.
Just if you were looking for it.
Got it. Thank you. I'm just gonna rename you. Mr. Can you say I know you said your first name was Umberto. Can you say your last name for me again?
Aragones.
Thank you. And do you have any documents you want to present today? It's okay if you don't. I just need to know if you do so I can walk you through how to get them to us.
What do you mean documents? I'm sorry.
Just any documents you want to present in the hearing. It's like I said, it's not a requirement that you do. I just need to know if you do so I can walk you through how to get them.
Okay, no, I don't.
Okay, thank you. And we've got another person who just joined the it's listed as Frederman's iPhone. Can you please unmute and tell me your first and last name and the company you're here on behalf of?
Hello, my name is Frederick Mendoza, and I'm from Logistic Union Inc.
Okay, give me just a second. Hey, Mr. Mendoza, I'm going to rename you just so we know that this is you and who you're here for. Do you have any documents you'd like to present to the hearing today, in the hearing today? It's all right if you don't have anything. I just need to know if you do so I can walk you through instructions on how to do so.
My documents, I have it. However, the state is request my insurance to do the filing. I have my proof of insurance, but it will not be valid because this insurance company, they need to do the e-filing for the state. So I will not be presenting any document today.
Okay, that's fine. If something comes up and you end up needing to, I'm sure we can take a break and figure that out. But for now, we'll hang tight. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call to order and go on the record in proceeding numbers 25C-0350-INS and 25C-0371-INS. I am Kelly Rosenberg, the administrative law judge assigned to this proceeding. This is a commission standing show cause insurance hearing set by notices and complaints to individual respondents. This week, we are hearing two proceedings on a joint record. The prior carried over proceeding from September 10th, which is 0350, and the proceeding noticed for today initially, and that is the 0371-INS proceeding. And at this time, I would like to take appearances, and let's start with staff.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Justin Larson with the Department of Law here on behalf of Commission staff. With me, as always, is staff witness Marquita Riley.
Thank you. And then I understand we have a couple of individuals on behalf of respondents. Can you please introduce yourselves by one by one? And let's start the way that it's on my screen. I see Mr. Aragones, and forgive me if I mispronounce the name, but can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Humberto Aragones, and my company name is Eagle Eye Towing, LLC.
Great, thank you. And Mr. Larson, if I understand correctly, this matter is a carryover from 0350, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor, yes.
Okay, great, thank you. And then the next step I see Ms. Zappeltil, and again, please correct me for how to pronounce your name if I misspeak.
Yes, that is correct.
Thank you. And you are here on behalf of Premier RV and Trailer Sales, is that correct?
That is correct.
And thank you for that. Mr. Larson, I understand that Premier RV Trailer Sales is for this proceeding, correct? The 0371?
That is correct, Your Honor. And not to get too far ahead of things, but just I would make an offer of proof that this was one of the carriers that has come into compliance and had insurance filed. So we will likely be, Ms. Riley will likely be testifying that they should be dismissed.
Great, thank you. And then finally, I see Mr. Mendoza. Can you please introduce yourself for the record?
Good afternoon. My name is Fredman Mendoza, and I am with Logistic Union Inc.
Great, thank you. And Mr. Larson, last time, I believe he is with the 0371. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
That's correct.
Great, thank you. Okay, thank you, everyone. And now at this time, I'd like to just do a couple of advisements before we get going, which is just to inform or remind all participants that it is the Commission's practice to record and webcast legal proceedings, including this one. And today, I believe, we do have a court reporter recording every word that is stated. And so with that in mind, if you make any sort of communication for the record, you'll need to make sure that it is verbal, so we can't do head nods and head shakes or things of that nature. Also, if I mispronounce anyone's name or if I use an incorrect gender pronoun, I mean no disrespect, please just correct me. I will do my best to get it right from then on out. And the way that this will work is we will have staff present their case, and then at that time, I will talk to each individual respondent, and you will have the opportunity to present your case, should you have one. And you also have the opportunity to ask questions of staff's witness if you have any questions, but be advised that then people may ask questions of you, me and Mr. Larson included. We may have some questions for you as well. And with that in mind, why don't we just go ahead and have staff go? You may call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. And just before we call our first witness, can I just a couple preliminary procedural matters since we're combining two proceedings today? So first on the proceeding that's carried over from last week or 2 weeks ago, can we assume procedurally that the hearing, the testimony and exhibits that came in at the hearing 2 weeks ago are included in the record, or would you like staff to represent our case from that proceeding as well?
Well, yeah, since we do have a respondent here from the September hearing, you don't need to reintroduce evidence into the record, but if you could do, and it's up to you how you wish to proceed, but if you wished to sort of combine, instead of doing everything twice and repeating everything from last week, if it's easier for you to have Ms. Riley say, for example, I did this on August 25th and on September 10th, something like that, that works. We just want to make sure that Mr. Aragones has the opportunity to just ask questions. And since he wasn't here last week and doesn't have access to the proceeding necessarily, I know it's publicly available, but just to help him so he understands the proceeding, that would be great. But I do defer to you in terms of how extensive you wish to do that, but you need not go through everything 2 times in a row.
Sure, I appreciate that, Your Honor. And just one suggestion I might make is because we do actually do have a couple carriers that have come into compliance in the prior proceedings since then. So what I might do is present our case with regard to today's proceeding, the 0371, and then towards the end, I might ask to bring up Exhibit 5, the updated hearing cycle listing from the last
Sure.
case, and we can talk about which carriers should be dismissed in the recommended decision and address it there. Does that make sense?
Yes, that works.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. And again, just one more preliminary thing on that point on the Zoom instruction. I believe the interim decision was discussing the Zoom instructions from the last hearing, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and on that point, I just want to make clear that staff deeply apologizes for that oversight, and we certainly will have we're trying to get to the bottom of exactly how that happened, but we are making sure not to see that happen again. So,
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, things like that happen on occasion. It's okay.
sounds good. Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it. Well, in that case,
Sure.
staff calls Marquita Riley.
Great. Ms. Riley, will you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Great. Thank you. Please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Ms. Riley. Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Yes. Marquita Riley, MarquitaRiley.
And who is your current employer?
The Public Utilities Commission.
What's your job title with the commission?
I'm the program assistant for the transportation unit.
And what is your role in today's proceeding?
I review the commission records and coordinate with staff for these proceedings against motor carriers that do not have current effective levels of financial responsibility on file with the commission.
Do the statutes and commission rules require motor carriers to file evidence of financial responsibility with the commission?
Yes.
And can you just tell us which statutes or rules impose this requirement?
Per Rule 6008 requires that motor carriers file and maintain evidence of financial responsibility with the commission.
And what needs to be provided specifically to the commission to show financial responsibility?
Per Rule 6008 requires that motor carriers electronically certain forms, an example be a Form E, as evidence of financial responsibility.
And how long does this evidence of financial responsibility remain in effect?
Per Rule 6008 again requires that each insurance company give the commission a 30-day advance written notice when insurance is not being renewed or if it's being canceled.
What's the next step when the PUC receives a notification of cancellation or non-renewal?
I then will use the commission's OpRights database to compile a list of motor carriers that we received advance written notice of cancellation.
Thank you, Ms. Riley. Now, were the exhibits for today's hearing provided to the respondents?
Yes, they were. Would you like for me to explain that process?
That would be great. Thank you.
Yes, so I created a list of the permit numbers and email addresses that we have on file for each respondent. I then emailed that list and the exhibits over to the AG's office. The AG's office then pre-filed the exhibits and emailed each respondent, and they also copied me on the email as well.
And Ms. Riley, was that done for the exhibits that were that you testified about and which were admitted at the hearing 2 weeks ago on September 10th as well?
Yes, that was the same process.
Thank you. Now, can we please pull up what's been previously marked as staff's hearing exhibit 1 in staff's box for the 0371 proceeding today? Thank you. Can you see that, Ms. Riley?
Yes.
Can you describe this document?
Yes, this is the initial hearing cycle listing. It contains the names of the respondents that we have not, that we received that their financial responsibility was going to expire.
Who prepared this list?
I did.
And how was it prepared?
We used the commission's OpRights database to compile the list.
When did you prepare this list?
On September 8th, 2025.
And that's the date that's reflected on the bottom right-hand corner there.
Yes.
Does the commission create a hearing cycle listing like the one we see in Exhibit 1 as part of its regular course of business?
Yes.
And is it the commission's practice to maintain documents like Exhibit 1 as part of its business record?
Yes.
Staff moves to admit Exhibit 1, Your Honor.
Admitted.
Now, Ms. Riley, actually, before I get into that, can we actually pull up what was previously admitted as Exhibit 1 in proceeding the 0350 proceeding?
And that's not in your box account for this hearing,
Oh,
correct?
That's correct. My understanding is that it was admitted in the last proceeding. Is that correct, Your Honor, that we can consider that exhibit to have been admitted, or would you?
Yes, that exhibit was admitted, yes.
Okay, so exhibit 1 from the 0350, right?
Yes, correct. Thank you. And can you see that, Ms. Riley?
Yes.
And I know we talked about this 2 weeks ago, but those questions I asked you with regard to Exhibit 1 for the 0371 proceeding, would your testimony be the same with regard to this exhibit?
Yes.
And this one, it looks like the date on the bottom right is August 25th, 2025. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, we can pull that down. And can we please pull up what's been pre-marked as staff's hearing Exhibit 2 in the 0371 proceeding for today? Thank you. Can you see that, Ms. Riley?
Yes.
So can you describe what this collection of documents is?
Yes, these are copies of the letters sent to each respondent.
And can you just summarize what these letters tell the respondents?
Yes, the letter explains that all operation under its authority are suspended as of the date the insurance expires, unless proof of proper insurance is submitted to the commission. It also provides notice of today's hearing and advises the respondents that if proper evidence of financial responsibility is not submitted to the commission, then its authority may be permanently revoked.
And when did the commission send these letters?
On September 8th, 2025.
Is it the commission's practice to create letters like these in the regular course of its business?
Yes.
Is it the commission's practice to maintain letters like Exhibit 2 as part of its business record?
Yes.
Move to admit Exhibit 2, Your Honor.
Admit.
Thank you. And I don't think we need to pull it up unless anyone needs any clarification, but Ms. Riley, there was also a similar collection of letters like this admitted as Exhibit 2 in the 0350 proceeding 2 weeks ago, correct?
Yes.
And those letters were sent on August 25th, 2025. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Or thank you, Ms. Riley. And now and we can go ahead and take that down. Now, Ms. Riley, does the commission require motor carriers to establish and maintain a designated agent?
Yes, per Rule 6006 requires that motor carriers establish and maintain a designated agent.
Were these notice letters sent that we talked about in Exhibit 2 and Exhibit 2 and the last proceeding as well, were they sent to the addresses of the designated agents on file with the commission?
Yes, they were.
And how did the commission serve those letters in both proceedings?
The letters were served through first-class postal mail.
Thank you. Now, can we please pull up what's been previously marked as staff's hearing Exhibit 3 in staff's box for the 0371 proceeding today? Thank you. And can you describe this document, Ms. Riley?
Yes, this is the attachment that was sent along with the notice letters.
What does the information in the attachment contain?
The attachment contains information on how to participate in today's video conference hearing.
When was this attachment sent to the respondents?
On September 8th, 2025.
Is it the commission's practice to include this attachment with the notification letters to the respondents when it holds an electronic hearing?
Yes,
And did the commission create this attachment in the regular course of its business?
yes,
Is it the commission's practice to maintain attachments like Exhibit 3 in the regular course of its business?
yes,
And one final question, did you verify that the information contained about the Zoom hearing for today matched what was ultimately what you used to join today's hearing?
yes.
Thank you. Move to admit Exhibit 3, Your Honor.
Admitted.
And we can go ahead and take that down. And Ms. Riley, I know we talked about this a bit in preliminaries, but there was an interim decision continuing the proceeding from the last insurance show cause proceeding from a couple weeks ago to today, correct?
Yes,
And did that interim decision include as an attachment a accurate Zoom information for joining today's hearing?
yes.
Thank you. Now, can we please pull up what's been previously marked as hearing exhibit number 4? This is for today's proceeding 0371. Thank you. And can you describe this document, Ms. Riley?
Yes, this is the certificate of service for the notice letters and attachments sent to the respondents.
Did the commission create the certificate in the regular course of its business?
Yes,
Is it the commission's practice to maintain certificates like this in the as part of the commission's business record?
yes,
Move to admit exhibit 4, Your Honor.
Admitted.
Now, Ms. Riley, the language on the certificate states, quote, whose name and addresses appear below, end quote, and below that it says, quote, see hearing cycle listing, end quote. Are these statements referring to the original hearing cycle listing that we saw in Exhibit 1?
yes,
And we don't need to pull it back up, but referring back to hearing Exhibit 2, the notice letters that were sent to the respondents, those letters inform the respondents about what happens if they can provide evidence of insurance or surety coverage before the hearing. So if the commission receives evidence of insurance or surety coverage, what happens then?
then we will not proceed against that carrier and dismiss them from the hearing cycle listing.
And this is true with regard to the exhibits that were admitted at the proceeding 0350 from 2 weeks ago as well, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And did staff create an updated hearing cycle listing for today's proceeding?
Yes,
Thank you. Can we please pull up what's been pre-marked as staff's hearing exhibit 5 in our box for today's proceeding? Thank you. So can you describe this document, Ms. Riley?
yes, this is the updated hearing cycle listing for today's date. It contains the names of the respondents that we still do not have current effective levels of financial responsibility on file with the commission.
Did staff create this list the same way as you described for hearing exhibit number 1?
Yes,
And so that means you created this document?
that's correct.
When did you create it?
On September 22nd, 2025.
And again, that's reflected in the bottom right-hand corner there.
Yes,
Did the commission create this hearing cycle listing in the regular course of its business?
yes,
Is it the commission's practice to maintain documents like we see in Exhibit 5 as part of its business record?
yes,
Move to admit Exhibit 5, Your Honor.
Admitted.
Now, Ms. Riley, did staff send a letter to all the motor carriers listed in hearing exhibit number 5?
yes,
Do the addresses listed in hearing exhibit 5 match the carrier's addresses in hearing exhibit number 2, the notice letters?
yes,
And was that also the case between exhibits 1 and or 2 and exhibit 2 and exhibit 5 that were admitted in the proceeding from 2 weeks ago, 0350?
Yes, that's correct.
When was the last time you checked to see if there was any change in the status of the carriers in Exhibit 5, the one for today's proceeding that we're looking at here?
This morning, September 24th, 2025.
Are you aware of any pending applications, either for suspension or abandonment, affecting any of the carriers listed in Exhibit 5?
We don't have any pending applications for this proceeding.
Does staff recommend dismissing any carriers listed in Exhibit 5? And if so, can you state which ones?
Yes, I'll do two separate ones for today's hearing, the 371
Yeah,
proceeding.
let's start with today's proceeding.
Okay.
I'll carry you over to the next one.
Okay, so we do have three. We have Davis Central, DBA, Colorado Executive Rides, and/or Car2U LLC. Car2U, PUC number LL-03235. That permit was canceled. Then we have Gold Rush Transportation LLC, PUC number LL-03500, and Premier RV and Trailer Sales Inc., PUC number T-05525. Insurance was updated for those two proceedings.
And sticking with today's proceeding, the 0371 proceeding, are you aware of any letters that were returned to the commission?
Yes, we do have two return mails for Diamond Cut Limo LLC and HAMU, HAMU Limo LLC. No other address was on file for those two.
And you did verify that the addresses listed match what was in the PUC system?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Riley. And then, so just turning briefly back to the last show cause hearing and proceeding number in the 0350 proceeding, Ms. Federico, can we please pull up what was previously admitted as Exhibit 5 in that proceeding?
I'm sorry, did you say Aragones?
No, sir. We're still on
Okay.
testimony here. So Ms. Riley, can you see that?
Yes.
So as I asked you earlier about the interim decision that was issued from this case that continued it to today. And there were certain carriers, there was one carrier, I believe, that was dismissed from that as a result of your testimony from that proceeding. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And since that hearing 2 weeks ago, have there been any other carriers listed here in Exhibit 5 that you recommend dismissing?
Yes, I do have two dismissals for that proceeding. That is Horizon Towing LLC, PUC number T-05718, and Direct Transportation LLC, DBA Western Shuttles, PUC number B-10105. Insurance was updated for both of those carriers.
Thank you. And we can take that down. Now, just a few concluding questions for you, Ms. Riley. When does the decision that's made after today's hearing, and I guess this would apply for both the 0350 proceeding and the 0371 proceeding, when do those recommended decisions become a final decision?
The recommended decision will come a final commission order decision 20 days after the administrative law judge issues the recommended decision if no exceptions are filed.
And so what happens if a carrier provides proper proof of insurance before the either decision becomes a final commission decision?
Then the recommended decision will not be enforced against that respondent.
And so can you summarize staff's overall recommendation today with regard to both proceeding 0350, which was heard 2 weeks ago, as well as 0371?
Yes. Staff recommends that the certificate of permit numbers listed on here in Exhibit 5 be revoked for lack of financial responsibility as required by law, except for Colorado Executive Rides and/or Car2U, Premier RV and Trailer Sales Inc. And the other ones, I do apologize, are for the previous hearing as well. That includes Horizon Towing LLC and Western Shuttles.
Thank you, Ms. Riley. I have nothing further, and staff will rest unless you or any of the respondents have any questions.
Thank you. I don't have any questions, and I thought perhaps what we could do is if respondents speak, and at that time, if they have any questions for Ms. Riley, we'll go ahead and might streamline things a bit more that way. So thank you for your time, Ms. Riley, as always. I don't have any questions for you, and thank you, staff, for the presentation. So first up, now let's move on to the respondents. And why don't we start with Ms. Zapatil? I'm not sure if, actually, I'm not sure. Yes, looks like she's still here. I don't know if you have any need to testify or to present at this point in light of Ms. Riley's testimony, but I will give you the opportunity. Let me know if you still wish to testify.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your time. And then I will move on to Mr. Aragones. Do you wish to testify in this proceeding?
No, I don't.
Okay. And do you have any questions for Ms. Riley at this point?
No,
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your time as well. Mr. Mendoza, do you wish to testify?
No, Your Honor.
And you don't have any questions for Ms. Riley, or do you?
Well, my only question would be after today here and how many days we have to do the filing in my case, since all my insurance my insurance are active. Just it's a matter of time of my insurance company to do the e-filing with the state. What is
Sure.
our time after today hearing?
Oh, and if Ms. Riley, I'll go ahead and speak, but then if you have more to add, you're welcome to. So typically what happens is it will take about a week or so I will issue a written decision. And so that takes about a week. And then after that, there's another 20 days before the decision becomes final. And the decision will have language in it that clarifies that if a respondent such as yourself comes into compliance and updates the insurance adequately in that interim period, then the proceeding will be dismissed as to you. So I would say 27 days, give or take a couple, but about 27 days is about the amount of time you'd have. Ms. Riley, do you have anything to add?
No, but if they have any questions, they're more than welcome to give me a call, or they can check online through the PEC website to see if they're back in an active status.
Thank you for that. Does that answer your questions, Mr. Mendoza?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you. And I believe that we have, all right, it doesn't look like we have any other respondents here. So thank you everyone for your time. I will take this matter under advisement, both matters under advisement, and I will issue written decisions in these matters in the near future. So thank you everyone for your time, and we'll go ahead and go off the record. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.